Welcome back to our channel, viewers. Prepare to be shocked as we delve deep into Nigeria's biggest ever scandal involving oil giants Shell and Eni. This is a tale of alleged fraudulent practices, corruption, and billions of dollars diverted from the Nigerian people. Our journey begins in December 2018, when Nigeria filed a lawsuit for a staggering $1.092 billion against Shell and Eni. The heart of this lawsuit is the controversial acquisition of the OPL 245 block, a lucrative oil field. The money paid by these oil companies allegedly ended up in the coffers of Malibu Oil and Gas, a company owned by former Nigerian Minister of Petroleum Dan Tate.
Can a single contract, a piece of paper, hold the potential to plunge a nation into economic crisis? This is the question that has haunted Nigeria since the infamous P&ID case came to light. Today we delve into this complex saga, a tale of intrigue, corruption, and a lawsuit that could potentially cost Nigeria billions of dollars. In September 2019, President Buhari of Nigeria stood tall at the United Nations General Assembly, announcing a vigorous prosecution of what he termed the P&ID scam. To most, this corporate acronym meant little, but for Nigeria, it represented almost 30% of their foreign reserves. The story begins in January 2010, when Nigeria entered into an agreement with Process and Industrial Development, or P&ID, a company registered in the British Virgin Islands. The contract was to process wet gas and supply Nigeria with lean gas. Despite the company having no experience in the gas sector, the contract was signed and operations commenced. Fast forward 2.5 years, P&ID commenced arbitration over lost profits, claiming Nigeria failed to supply the company with the wet gas. What ensued was a drawn-out investor-state arbitration in London, culminating in 2017 with Nigeria being held liable for a staggering $6.6 billion in damages plus interest. Today, that bill stands at almost $10 billion. However, this was not the only controversy Nigeria faced. In December 2018, they filed a $1.092 billion lawsuit against oil companies Shell and Eni over alleged fraudulent practices and corruption. Nigeria contended that Shell and Eni engaged in bribery and conspiracy, diverting billions of dollars of potential revenue from the Nigerian people. The lawsuit relates to money Shell and Eni used to purchase interest in the OPL 245 block. It is alleged that this money was paid to Malibu Oil and Gas, a company owned by former Nigerian Minister of Petroleum Dan Tate, where it was then used for bribes and kickbacks.
The story doesn't end there. Shell's involvement in Nigeria's controversies goes even deeper, stretching back to the tragic fate of the Ogoni Nine.
On the 12th of February 2019, judges in The Hague heard testimonies from 4 women of the Ogoni people. These women held Shell partly responsible for the execution of their husbands by the Nigerian military in 1995, a case that is now known as the Ogoni Nine.
These activists were unlawfully detained and executed by the Nigerian military regime. The wives of the Ogoni Nine have testified in The Hague, accusing Shell of being partly responsible for their husbands' deaths. Shell, for its part, denies all allegations of wrongdoing. They argue that there is no case against them or their former employees. Former Shell director Malcolm Brinded asserts that the focus should be on the future of the Ogoni people. But can this really absolve them of their alleged complicity in these scandals? The implications of these scandals are profound. They have the potential to shake the very foundations of the oil industry and significantly impact the trust of stakeholders. The future of Nigeria, Shell and Eni hangs in the balance. We are left with more questions than answers. Will justice prevail? What will the fallout be for the Nigerian people and the oil industry? It's crucial to stay informed and continue to speak out against corruption. Together, we can make a difference. Thanks for joining us on this journey. We hope this investigation has been enlightening. Remember, knowledge is power, and by shedding light on such scams, we can work towards a better future. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more groundbreaking content. Until next time, stay vigilant and keep fighting against corruption. Goodbye.